Welcome in, welcome in. It's fresh off the press. A bird. Is it a plane? No, it's a reboot. We're going to be talking Superman, the new movie. There is no end title. There's no semicolons. It's just Superman. That's what it is. I'm sitting here with not so super fan Manny. How you doing today?
Good, man.
Looking like everybody I saw in the theater. I'm over there busting a WWE,
Yeah,
RKO
it was
out of
all
every
blue in the theater I went to.
yeah, everything was blue
Yeah,
and
I had
beautiful.
to.
I have the shirt you've seen on the episode, but I'm like, you know what? I ain't gonna do it. Everybody out there doing, I ain't gonna do it. But it was nice to see us with our people, everybody collectively enjoying comic book characters. So on this episode, we're gonna talk again. Superman. We just walked out of the theater. We had the opportunity to watch this. Thank you, AMC. We had the opportunity to watch this movie before a lot of other people got a chance to see it. I got a chance to see it in IMAX. You as well, or?
Yeah, IMAX.
Okay, so we do it just right there, just
Yep,
living bigger
IMAX.
than life. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into our first impression. Sorry, lingo, and then after that, we're gonna go into our highs and lows. I'm the captain now. We're gonna go into highs and lows, and from the highs and lows, we're gonna go ahead and rate this thing. But before we do, hit the subscribe button, like, follow, and comment for more. Also, want to show your support for the Critics Collective. Check in the description. We've got some links in there for some things that we're really passionate about, stuff that helps us put the stream together and things like that. You might want a cool WWE shirt. We got a link in there for that as well. So, Manny, what is your first impressions or expectations to the Superman movie?
I had high expectation because I'm a big fan of Superman. High expectation, and when I first saw the trailer, I know they changed a few things from the fan criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but unlike everybody else, I was hope I would my all my hope was make sure this thing is good. That's all. I didn't care if it was, they were replacing Henry Cavill with, because it happens over time. They replace a new actor with somebody else. I didn't care about that, and I enjoyed the trailer. It felt like it was gonna be a Superman that everybody was gonna round up around. So uh, I had a lot of high expectation for this film, and my first impression when I was a trailer, I was excited. I was very excited to come and watch this movie.
Okay, so for me, no expectations whatsoever. We have been rating the Superman movies of the past, gearing up for this, and I had no expectations. When I say I had no expectation, none. I didn't know who they cast for Superman, for Lois, for anyone. I didn't see the new suit, no clue. Only thing I maybe advertising, like, they might show something, I would look immediately down. I didn't see any trailers. I fought so hard not to watch any behind the scenes footage, even though parts of it was filmed in Georgia where I'm at. I made sure to pay this no attention. So I just came in here and said, I'm not going to compare nothing in the past. I'm just here to watch a movie. And so for me, no expectation whatsoever. Now, with that being said, Manny, what are your highs and lows to the new Superman movie?
my my lows, I wish it was longer.
Mind you, PG-13, it ran for 2 hours and 10 minutes.
I wish
Continue.
it was longer. And the other thing is, the only thing low I had was that I didn't get what I wanted. If you watch the guys watch my other Superman review, I didn't get the thing I always want from that last scene where he flies over the earth, and I didn't get that. That's all. That's my low.
Did you stay? Did you
I
stay? Well,
stayed.
they gave you a
Yeah,
little something.
I
We're not gonna
stayed.
spoil anything. There's no spoilers here.
It's,
You're in a safe
I know.
place.
Two after I stayed,
Okay.
but I didn't get it though.
Mhm.
I didn't get. I didn't get it. Uh, I would say that's pretty much my low. The only other issue I had was they went too heavy on the southern accent with his parents. At a certain point, I was like, because I was watching with there was people around me. They're like, man, I don't know, the accent make him looks like sound stupid in a way. Not that but it was like the accent was kind of it was something different with the parent. This thick southern accent, how they were doing it. But I warmed up to it. I think they just went a little too heavy on that because I'm not used to the Kents just like mom, pa, go watch the box. It's on in the box. It just felt different. But even the other than that, my high, there was not a scene where there was like no good action. One thing about James Gunn when it comes to these, I would say side characters like Mr. Terrific. Oh man, I was enjoying that one scene where Mr. Terrific, Guy Gardner, oh, even Hawk Girl, even though she didn't get much scenes, but like all these characters, Metamorpho.
Yes.
Like I was like that
Very.
one last action scene. There was, it was nonstop, and I enjoyed every bit of it.
Okay.
And even though this was, mainly a Superman, I'm going to talk about Superman later, but Lex Luthor, I think that's probably one of the best Lex Luthor I've seen. Christopher Holtz did a great job making you hate him, because I hated him. I didn't like him as a villain, because not only he's obsessed with Superman, and he's cold-blooded. He didn't give a damn. I don't want to spoil it, but he is cold-blooded, and his obsession with getting rid of Superman. It just reminded me of the old Superman cartoon, how Lex Luthor was so obsessed with Superman, and how he would go by everything he could do just to make the world hate Superman or kill Superman. And I like that. I like they went that route. But other than that, David Corenswet, who plays Superman, he did a great job just portraying that character. As far and just his presence was just Superman. It's a little different. Most people are not gonna, because they're used to probably Christopher Reeves, or Henry Cavill's style Superman, where there's not a lot of joke going around. But I thought that was going to be an issue, but it wasn't really much of an issue for me. And there's a lot of firsts that happens in this film that people are not going to be used to. So, in the beginning, how they introduced him, and it's like, oh man, this how they're going to introduce Superman. He's not really like, I would say he's not up there yet when it comes to like, if I say it's going to spoil, like the way they introduce him is like Superman is kind of like down and out in a way,
not down and out in a way like Thunderbolts. Check
that
review that we talked about. It's a different down and out.
Yeah. And I would bring that one thing back. Is just one thing I'm tired is like always that trope. They always got to arrest Superman. I don't know. I get tired of that. I don't know, for some reason. I'm just tired. What's the point? It's not necessary.
Well, I mean, am I wrong?
Haven't
they only done it once or twice? And that's recent.
I think they did it in the Men of Steel, the Lois and Clark TV series. They did that.
I mean, I don't count that, because Smallville, that's another one. Clark was getting arrested damn near almost. Yeah, cops were running for him almost every other episode. But so those will be all your highs and lows. Or are you missing anything in there?
No, it was just a lot of high there. There's a lot of things that happen in there that I want to talk about, but it would just be spoiler. Some characters that are introduced that we're gonna see in the future that I was like,
I did see an exit sign that said briefly Gotham City. They pan right across and like, oh
yeah. So I was very happy with this film, and I'm gonna watch it probably 3, 4, 5 more time again. And I regret not buying.
He's already telling you his rating.
Yeah, I regret not buying that cup, because they got like this Superman cup with a Superman on top. But I was like, man, I don't want to spend no $25 on that cup now.
He'll be back. He'll get as he sits here in his Letterman jacket that Superman on. He'll be back. He'll get the cup. You'll see him with the cup.
I was very happy with this new iteration of Superman, and James Gunn did a good job. And I can't wait to see what's in the future for this DC, man.
Okay, so for me, just crash landing in here, the highs and lows for me. I always start from the bottom, start with the lows, work my ways up. The lows was that one coworker. I'm not going to spoil it, but the Daily Planet, there's a coworker. There's some of them are comic accurate. Like there's a jock sports reporter. He's accurate. You see him in the animated series. You see him in the comic books. There's other iterations. I thought that was a good thing there. But there's another one that doesn't pop up till later. I'm not spoiling anything. You're gonna see the person there at a very crucial time. Why the fuck is that person there? Now, unless I'm wrong and there's an Easter egg, the dude with the glasses. Unless
Yeah,
there's an
I
Easter
just
egg,
realized we talking about it.
I was like, how is this motherfucker in here? Did he win a scratch off and become like, hey, by contract, you're gonna put you in the movie? Where we gonna put him at? Just put him right here. I don't know. But hey, listen, get your money, get your fame. I love it. I didn't understand what's going on. The other one I would say would be Man of Steel with a different look. Without spoiling anything, there are a lot of comparisons to the Man of Steel, not for the Superman movies in general, but the Man of Steel. You mentioned the handcuffs. You mentioned having a forced look as if he was a negative character and how that would look. We saw that in Batman versus Superman, Superman versus Batman, give or take what you want to call it. But point blank, we've seen those elements. In this one, we saw a very political driven element that pulled what felt like real life news articles and put it there. Conversations of immigration, war for resources, puppeteers in political. Like people will walk away from this, and I can see them saying, "Oh, it's woke and it's XYZ," but it's no different, in my opinion, than looking at the conversation with Man of Steel. And so, to me, those are the only two things that I would really say that took away from that. I would be reaching to go with maybe I wanted. It's PG-13. I can't believe I'm saying this. I wanted more. I wanted a steamy scene between Lois and Clark, and the reason why I say that is because they had already, when you watch the movie, they already put you in that mindset on some of the scenes. And I didn't want like skin or anything like that, but something that shows that that's the level of relationship they're showing, to show that this Clark, this Superman, this reboot is completely different. And they do it on some other levels, but I think that one right there would have for sure got a lot of people in the seats, if you know what I mean. Now, the plus that I would say, I would agree with you, Manny. Lex, this is probably the best iteration of Lex Luthor that isn't an animated character, because there's some great voiceover work for animated characters over the years. So I will say that respectfully. But the Lex Luthor in this one, the writing to give him the conviction to, there was, when he does that monologue towards the end, it's a full circle where you as the audience who might have been on the fence, you're all in on the fact that this is your bad guy. No other bad guy is bigger than this bad guy sitting here in this room. And I thought they did a great job of doing that. Lois and Clark, their relationship, I mentioned it earlier as a negative, but there's also great on it. I felt like the chemistry was much better in this one than it was in Superman Returns, that people feel that was questionable. Maybe not as feisty as I felt like Man of Steel, but I felt like it was still there. And I think one of the things that helped it was there is a kissing scene. I'm not spoiling anything, but there's a scene and you're watching their reaction to it. And I think they do a really good job of putting that in there when the other movies really didn't do it this way. And this hones in, hey, we only have 2 hours to show you that they know each other. They're in love. There's something here. And I thought that was good that they put that together. The music. I would say the music. I thought the music was a really good job. There's some notes in there that is very similar to the old school theme, but they did a really good job of making it new. There's even some parts where they take old school and they sit it in new with a new set of drums and strings, and I thought it made it seem a different type of original. The 2 hour mark, I like the 2 hour mark. I thought the 2 hour mark was good. I thought they gave us something where we wanted more. They teased a bunch of stuff, and now we'll be waiting to get more versus a kid who pushes a piano. The cat, I agree. Yeah, you got that. I agree with the cast. I thought they did a really good job of making each cast member seem super important, even if their roles seem small. Jimmy, a lot of times in the movies, you see such a big role, and I think on this one, it's still an impactful role, but it allowed Lois and Clark and some of the other characters to get the main thing. And I will try not to spoil this. Like you said before, Mr. T, Mr. Terrific stole the motherfucking show. If we can't find a way to get him in another movie or a television show or something, the DC's, I'm trying to buy some merchandise right now. Like, I thought I liked the character from CW, but my goodness, and they just kept giving it to you, and it was good. It didn't feel forced. So with that being said, those are our highs and lows. It is time to rate this. Now, here at the Critics Collective, we rate from a 0 to 5, with 5 being excellent. It's as powerful as it's gonna be as a superhero, and 0, it's way too much kryptonite. Not the red one that makes you feel good and woozy inside, but the green kryptonite that makes you all horrible. And that's what that is. Now, put in the comments if you get a chance to see this movie, what do you think the rating is on this one? Are you a fan of Lex? Or are you a fan of Superman? Because I saw some people in there cheering for Lex doing, and I just think it's an interesting world we live in. So before we go ahead and get in the ratings, hit the subscribe button, like, comment for more. Check the description for some ways that you can support the channel. Manny, what do you got?
Well, like I said, this film it made me feel good about Superman. There was certain scene I was excited when they were yelling out his name, Superman, and all. Even like you brought up Kryptonite. I like how they showed how it affects his body. I like that. I'm gonna give it a 5, man.
Give it a 5. All
5.
right, all right. I would agree. I'm gonna give it a 5 as well. I thought about doing a 4.5. There are some issues in the plot. There are some stuff, not necessarily early on, but there's things where I'm like, where's security? There's no cause and effect for this.
Yeah.
Like, but then it got outweighed by the fact that there was so many opportunities where they would mention the damage, but not in the way that Man of Steel did, to the point that Superman was saving people, and you didn't see that in Man of Steel. People complained about that. We'll do the what was that?
They emphasize. I guess they heard like what someone, and they made sure you saw he saved everybody and everything.
He was literally checking. Do I have consent to touch you? Can I save you? Can I save you? Can I put my hands on you? They did their damnedest to do that, and I appreciated that. The other thing that I thought was really cool was the action. Like we mentioned before, with the action scenes, maybe not all of them.
Now,
see, not all of them may be as good as Man of Steel, but equally so. Even the opening scene for Superman Returns with the plane, they found ways to do something that Marvel really hasn't done. It's so hard to do with this character. Superman is such a big character. These scenes, these action scenes, have to be super, no pun intended. And I thought they did a great job of making this summer blockbuster an action movie, and sprinkle some jokes in there with a certain, I was gonna say a character that kept jumping into the screen and hurting people. But anyways, if you know, you know. But that's what we're gonna say. That's what we're gonna leave it on.
He had like a Hulk moment from the Avengers too.
He did. Oh my gosh, he did. We're gonna put this out, and even in that scene, I was like, so we're just not gonna be realism is out of the window. Okay, fine. Yeah. That's fine. That's cool.
I love this movie, man. There's some things, I know that I feel like they didn't answer, but we'll discuss that later.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, we both said this is a 5. I think we're both guaranteeing you're going to enjoy this movie. I can't speak for Maddie saying he's going to guarantee it, but Dad would approve it. I would say, hey, look, I think you're going to enjoy this summer blockbuster movie. $225 million is estimated. IMDb says, guess how much they've made worldwide so far? $7. Somebody's trolling. Somebody has the account. They came in here and put $7 gross for it. There's some haters out here. There's some haters.
It's been a while since I've seen people stay behind for like that. Like usually it's like a few people, but in my theater it was the whole theater.
The same thing here, but I think it's because we got a chance to see it early. Number one, so you're a fan of it, and then number two, Marvel has imprinted to us and affected movie trailers and movie ending credits where it's like you need to stay until after. Like a lot of us shook our head at the people who left before there's 2 end trailers on here, end scenes, but people left. We're like, oh, look at these riffraffs skedaddling. How dare they? How dare they? Tis not in my metropolis. So like I said, it's a 5 for both of us. We're giddy with joy. We may get the band back together and talk full discussion, but check out all the videos we have on superheroes, including Superman. We've got a few of those hanging out. We got some long discussions on movie lingo, legacy lingo, so go ahead and check that out as well. You could have been anywhere in the world and you chose to be here. Check out one of the playlists that we have or some other videos. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I don't know why I said wonderful. I felt like Superman was so good.
Yeah.
It's got me out here feeling good. Like, have a wonderful day. Go save somebody. Click.